either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, you can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check the plane side to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
I'm not beyond hanging out at church in Cone with a sign. First Officer Fabian, would you go ahead and get our IFR clearance to Charlotte?
I'll get our IFR clearance to Charlotte.
Atlanta clearance, Delta 1097. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance. We have Victor.
Right.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Right, batteries.
Delta 1097, Atlanta clearance, cleared to Charlotte via the Phil 3 departure. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 29010 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.6 squawk 3671. Expect runway 27 right.
Remember that 3671. Emergency signs armed. Double check that. That was squawking 3671, flight levels 290, and our climb, initial climb is 10,000. There we go. 10,000. And current QNH, by the way, I'm cheating here. I look up out my sign is 3022. And I can change it, by the way. It's nice to pop out there. I can do that. Okay. Okay, performance, we're on AIRAC 2601, Navigraph, we're flying to KCLT, and our flight number is Delta 1097. And this is KCLT to KATL to KCLT 01. Departure, I was on runway 27 right. Fill. And our arrival is on runway 36 right. ILS. Heckham is our transition. Our star is Jones. Activate that. Okay. Our cruise altitude on this flight is 29,000. And our winds are 290 at 5'9". Our takeoff center of gravity is 17.5. And our zero fuel weight is 62440. Page 3. All of this is okay. We're going to climb at 270, cruise at 290, descend at 280, and it won't be long at all. Trust me. Okay. For our takeoff performance, KATL 27 right. Our, oh, by the way, let me fix that. Sorry, I need to fix that, but it's going to come up here. We're at flaps 1, not a takeoff 1 right there. But let's get these numbers. There we go. Our takeoff winds are 325 at 12. Temp is 10, and QNH is 3020. We're going to send that to the FMS, and then that also tells us takeoff is 1. That's correct. So, and we're going to put the wind in again here, 325 at 12. And we're going to change flaps to 1. There we go. We're going to go to DLK and load here. So now if we go back to takeoff, all the numbers are in, and 187 is going to be right here. 187. And that's changed. Okay, let's walk through our flight plan with this. Let's use this. So we're going to put on plan. And here we have the football departure, runway 27, Jones. I see some vectors there. I don't need the discontinuity. I don't need the as a sign. I'm going to delete that. Delete. And that vectors where it says Heckham, I'm going to take Heckham, put it in the vectors place. Okay, now let's walk through it. A little bigger. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's go. Actually, let's go smaller. Let's go all the way to 1. Okay, here we are at the beginning. Zal, Golf, Nichols, Phil, Lager, Molson, Hartwell, Central, Ever, Cup, Cake, Jones, Hub, send up. Alright, that looks good. Activate the flight director. There we go. Fabian, you're in charge of all comms.
Roger that, Steve. I'll handle the comms from here.
Please get our pushback and start clearance.
I'll take care of the pushback request.
Delta 10907 requesting clearance for pushback and start.
Delta 1097, pushback and start approved.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Oh, so John, I apologize. I was kind of fixated or focused. This is a payware aircraft. It's the E-Jet. It's the made by XCrafts.
All doors and hatches are closed.
And it's the
Ready
ERJ175, and it's one of my favorite. And by the way, if you're considering buying one of the paywares, first of all, they are different than the free ones. They not quite the same level.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
But if you do ever buy one, just buy one. They're all the same. Once you have one, I bought the 175 and the 195, but they are the same. So just they hold more people. That's it.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, we're going for engine 2 start.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your
Operation
seatbelt
complete.
by
Go
inserting
ahead
the
and
metal
set the
tip
parking
into
brake.
the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low
Disconnecting
and
tow.
tight across
Stand
your
by.
lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes
Tow
or
is
any
disconnected
smokeless
and
products,
bypass
including
has been
chewing
removed.
tobacco,
Hand
is
signal on
not
the right.
allowed
We'll
on
see you
any
next time.
Delta
You have
flight.
a safe flight.
Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits, and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lab children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest. Be sure you fastened your seatbelt low and tight across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Fabian, would you get our taxi clearance to runway 27 right?
I'll get our taxi clearance to runway 27 right.
Atlanta ground, Delta 97, ready for taxi to runway 27 right. We have Victor.
Delta 97, runway 27 right, taxi via 3 northwest, 3 southwest, Lima, Lima Alpha.
Runway 27 right, 3 northwest, 3 southwest, Lima, Lima Alpha, Delta 1097.
to the busiest airport in the United States. I believe it's probably well, they argue LA, JFK, they'll all argue about who's the busiest, but I think Hartsville is like the heart of the southeast. Fabian, do the takeoff briefing.
Here's the takeoff briefing. We'll be departing from runway 27 right, flying the Phil 3 departure with an initial climb clearance to 10,000. Transition altitude is 18,000. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile, climbing to flight level 290 as filed. Weather at departure shows clear skies, no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. Squawk code is 3671 and departure frequency will be 124.6. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Okay.
Switching to tower on 119.1, Delta 1097.
Right, auto throttle is set, which brings up TO on my horizon.
Atlanta Tower, Delta 97. Good afternoon, holding short 27 right, ready for departure.
Delta 1097, Atlanta Tower. Runway 27 right. Winds 330 at 12 gusting 20. RNAV football. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27 right, RNAV football, cleared for takeoff, Delta 1097.
Right, and we got one about 6 miles out coming in for runway for a landing, but that should give us plenty of time to get out. Right, straightened up. Toggle button is hit. Alright. Forward pressure on yoke. I didn't call out 80 knots, I know.
V1. Rotate V2.
Rotating. Positive rate. You're up. Autopilot is engaged.
Delta 1097, contact departure on 121.225.
Switching to departure on 121.225, Delta 1097.
And FMS on auto throttle.
Atlanta departure, Delta 97. Good afternoon, climbing through 2000.
Delta 1097, Atlanta departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 230, turn left heading 245, vectors to football, then on course.
We'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and a welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers.
Left heading
Your business
245,
and loyalty
vectors
are
to
greatly
football, then on
appreciated by
course,
the
Delta
entire Delta
1097.
family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected route
Delta 1097, contact Atlanta departure on 124.6.
Opening the overhead bins.
Switching to Atlanta
prevent
departure
injury
on
from articles that may have shifted
124.6,
during
Delta
takeoff.
1097.
Now reaching altitude, we're in state.
Atlanta departure, Delta 1097. Good afternoon, climbing through 5000 for flight level 230.
Delta 1097, Atlanta departure, climb and maintain flight level 230. Delta 1097, reported about 8 minutes ago. We had an aircraft near your position, report light to moderate turbulence at flight level 60.
Fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Maintain flight level 230, Delta 1097.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset,
dear guests,
just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flight.
Electronic devices in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for your attention.
Right, we're only going up to 290, and our next event, we just dropped, we just turned off the landing lights. Next event is at 18,000 for our altimeter.
Delta 1097, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240, Delta 1097.
Beer, alcoholic beverages, as well as snack boxes are available for purchase. The menu, which lists all details, is in the back of the Sky magazine located in your seat pocket. You may now use your portable electronic devices, so sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
Always. Always. I have to eventually turn off the cockpit cam. I see she keeps showing up on it. Alright. Shortest NTSB accident report in history. And four words, and that's all it needs to say, and they know exactly what it means. Cat in the cockpit. That's it. Enough said. Alright, we're switching to standard for altimeter. This will be a quick climb.
Delta to 97, contact Atlanta Center on 119.375.
Switching to Atlanta Center on 119.375, Delta
All right, I'll be back.
1097. Atlanta Center, Delta to 97. Good afternoon, climbing through 16,000 for flight level 240.
Delta to 97, Atlanta Center, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240, Delta 1097.
Delta to 97, I need you at flight level 240, sir.
Dear guests, we have now reached cruising altitude, and the cabin crew will begin the snack and beverage service shortly. We're excited to offer you some of our popular items from the Delta menu, including our delicious snack mix and refreshing beverages. After the service, selected items from the Delta shop will also be available for you to browse. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Delta 1097, expect the Jones 5 arrival, controller transition, anticipate descent in about 10 minutes.
Expecting the Jones 5 arrival, controller transition, Delta 1097.
Delta 1097, descend via Jones 5 controller transition into Charlotte, altimeter 3008.
Descend via Jones 5, controller transition into Charlotte, altimeter 3008, Delta 1097.
Alright, sorry, it's been kind of quiet. So we currently are at 290. I have set my altitude for 3,000, and we're on VNAV and LNAV control right now, and so we're going to watch and see how VNAV works and if it does a good job. So right now we're at about 290 knots on cruise altitude. We are we're not far from top of descent, and when we start descending we'll be at the Ever, I think around the Ever waypoint, but we'll be coming in. Okay. By the way, the ATC you're hearing is coming from Say Intentions, and so we're using Say Intentions ATC. That goes for cabin crew, although the ERJ175 has some built-in cabin crew messaging, and that you'll hear it if you're in the back. You'll actually hear them talking sometime. And we have Traffic Global is active, so when you see some additional aircraft, it's coming from Traffic Global. It's not anything I'm doing. see where we are. We're 104 miles, 111 miles outside of Charlotte. We need to go ahead and do our landing performance for runway 36 right. Winds are 240 at 10. Gust up to 17. 7. And QNH is 3007. Our landing weight should be right at around 66,400. Plenty of distance on the runway, that was never an issue. Load landing speeds. Laps full. Lane 4. Checking to make sure I've got our arrival correct. So arrival, runway is 36 right, ILS on Jones 5 arrival. So we're in great shape there. Okay. Oh, and hey, Benjamin, sorry I wasn't more responsive to say hi. Alright, we're going direct to Cup.
Delta 1097, direct ever, then as filed, please.
Delta 1097 requesting direct to Cup.
Delta 1097, direct cop approved.
Direct Cop, Delta 1097. Right, we're 147 miles from Charlotte. We're 40 miles from Cup. We have a descent coming. Fabian, get clearance for our descent on the Jones arrival.
I'll request descent clearance on the Jones 5 arrival.
Atlanta Center, Delta 1097, requesting clearance to descend on the Jones 5 arrival.
Delta 1097, descend and maintain 16,000 on the Jones 5 arrival.
Descend and maintain 16,000 on the Jones 5 arrival, Delta 1097.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our approach to Charlotte. At this time, we kindly ask that you return to your seats, stow your tray tables, and fasten your seatbelts. Please note that the use of the lavatories is no longer permitted. Thank you for your cooperation.
Attention, please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Alright, we're on our descent into Charlotte. They'll step us down. Cup is 24,000 at or above, 240 at or above. And then Cake, Jones, and Dub all have their like below, at or belows or below. We have set our altitude at 3,000 and let VNAV control it, and then we check in with ATC. Well, then you'll have a lot to watch, Benjamin, over the next little while here as we go around the moon. And we are 82 miles outside of Charlotte. It's a more of a straight in approach. We don't have to go to the other side of the airport. We'll turn on this side. Rate of descent and everything looks real good. We're about 271 knots on the descent. That's good. Yeah, she's hungry, so she all literally.
Delta 1097, contact Charlotte departure on 125.35.
Switching to Charlotte departure on 125.35, Delta 1097. Charlotte departure, Delta 1097, good evening, descending flight level 190 for 16,000.
Delta 1097, Charlotte departure, expect the ILS runway 36 right approach into Charlotte.
Expecting the ILS runway 36 right approach into Charlotte, Delta 1097.
Got some people that are trying to get my family trying to get their last minute ice sledding in. Hello Simon, hello Benjamin, and John if he's still in here. Great. This is a pretty straight in approach. We're on the equivalent of the base leg part of the approach right now. So we're on the the base leg, and then we'll make the left on the final. I'm going to go ahead and bring the lights up. So I got too many things going on. There we go. And seatbelt lights on. Sterile cockpit. Alright, we're just 39 miles outside of the airport. We have one more waypoint, and then we will go down to what would be the Heckham waypoint, which is our turn final, and that is not far away. Course heading's already set for us, I think, which is 003. Okay, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final approach into Charlotte. Please turn off all electronic devices.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in just a few minutes.
Ensure your tray
Please make
tables
sure
are
your
put away,
seatbelts are
your
securely
seats are in
fastened
full
low and
upright
tight.
position,
Tray tables are up
your
and locked,
seatbelts
and that
are
seat backs are in their upper.
The weather in Charlotte is currently 7 degrees
That
Celsius.
Discard, as part of our eco program, we're committed to recycling aluminum,
That is from
plastics,
the
and paper, and I'll be coming along to
ERJ175,
get
but then
these
I've
items.
got ATC coming
Please make
out
sure
of,
all of your personal
say,
items are
Intentions.
securely stowed,
So they're
either
kind
under the seat in front of you
having a
or in the
contest to
overhead
see
bin.
who can talk the most. But anyway, yes, so the ERJ175 has its own ATC. No, it has its own cabin crew, not ATC, cabin crew. Alright. Right, we're almost to Shell. Shell will take us to our final, and then we'll make a left for final. Altitude looks good. Right where we need to be.
Delta 1097, proceed direct SICDU, descend and maintain 3,000 feet, altimeter 3008 until established on the localizer cleared for the ILS runway 36 right approach.
Proceeding direct SICDU, descend and maintain 3,000 feet, altimeter 3008, cleared for the ILS runway 36 right approach, Delta 1097.
Alright, great shape. Okay. That's beautiful, by the way. That's straight out of Xplane. The airport that we are landing in is an Nimbus custom scenery airport. So Charlotte really, the colors really pop this time of the day at Charlotte. Really nice. right? So this is where it cleared us to, actually it cleared us to Sikdu, and we're going to Sikdu, but I'm entering by way of Heckham, the waypoint Heckham. That's 2 waypoints ahead of Sikdu to make sure we're lined up. He's trying to give us a more streamlined approach. I really like following this here. If we were in VATSIM, I probably would. I could get by with this, but I can't this time. We're on flaps 1 right now. So we're coming up, we're at 6,000 at Heckham, and we'll work our way down. We're flaps 2. Flaps 3. It looks like we have captured, and we're 16 miles outside of Charlotte. You see the run. You can see the runways down there, and we're coming in on 3-6 right here. We're under the localizer and the glide scope right now. Our auto brake is set to medium. And Fabian, would you do our approach briefing?
We'll be arriving in Charlotte on runway 36 right using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Jones 5 arrival. Transition level is 18,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 36 right. Weather at arrival shows winds 285 at 8, gusting 16, few clouds at 9,000 feet, no significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. For any abnormalities, we'll communicate with ATC and execute a go-around or missed approach as needed. Squawk code remains 3671, and approach frequency will be 125.35. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. Once on the ground, we'll be taxiing to gate, Concourse A Phase 2 at 34. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
Delta 1097, contact Charlotte Tower on 118.1.
Switching to Charlotte Tower on 118.1, Delta 1097. Charlotte Tower, Delta 97. Good evening, established on the ILS runway 36 right approach.
Delta 1097, Charlotte Tower, roger. Delta 1097, wind 280 at 8, gusting 16. Runway 36 right, cleared to land.
Runway 36 right, cleared clear to land, Delta 1097.
Right, so we're on the glide scope and the localizer, and in place of our LNAV or our VNAV. It is our LNAV and it is our VNAV, so we are nice night tonight. It's beautiful. So for when you factor in the elevation in Charlotte, we're not actually at 2,200, we're at about 1,500. Okay.
Throttle.
Throttle's mine. We have 14 knot crosswind, nothing extreme, but I can make it not feel good.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 200. Minimums.
Autopilot.
Glide
100.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
50.
Glide
40.
slope.
30.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
20.
Glide slope. Glide
10.
slope.
Delta 1097. Contact ground on 121.8.
Switching to ground on 121.8, Delta 1097.
Auto brake.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off
Charlotte
the seatbelt
ground,
sign.
Delta 1097.
This will be your
Good
one
evening,
and only
cleared of
indication
runway,
that it's
ready
safe for
to
you to get
taxi
up
to the
and
gate.
move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have
Delta
shifted during landing.
1097, Charlotte ground,
You may now use
taxi
your
to
mobile phones
concourse,
and other
a phase
handheld
2 gate,
electronic
a
devices
3-4
while we taxi
via
to the
Alpha,
gate.
Romeo,
However,
blue
your laptop
line.
computers
Good day.
and other electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit delta.com for all your future
Concourse
travel
phase
needs,
2, gate
including checking
A34
in
via
for a flight
Alpha Romeo Blue
and
Line,
managing your
Delta
sky miles and
1097.
pounds. If any of you should have questions regarding
Ladies
ground
and gentlemen,
transportation,
welcome
baggage
to
claim,
Charlotte. Did you know that Charlotte is known as the
or any other
Queen
information,
City
a Uniform
because
Delta
it's named
agent
after
meeting this
Queen
flight will be more
Charlotte
than
of
happy
England?
to answer any questions
Thank
you
you
may
for
have.
flying with Delta Airlines. Please remain seated
On
with
behalf
your
of Delta
seatbelts
Sky Team,
fastened
our global
until we
partners,
reach our
and
final
flight crew,
parking position.
we'd like to thank
On
you all
behalf
for
of
flying with
Captain
us.
Steve Good,
We've
First
enjoyed having
Officer,
you on
and
board
the entire
and look
crew,
forward to the
we wish you
opportunity
a
to serve you
pleasant
once again.
stay. The local time
Thank
in
you so
Charlotte
much.
is
Have a wonderful
5:52
evening.
p.m.
Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
And this is a Nimbus custom scenery airport here in Charlotte. Very well done. Nimbus has done some great really nice ones. They've done one. The Atlanta one is the one we took off from. Another one just very well done. Delta. We'll go back and do a replay. Landing still, I caught a little wind right there at the end. But see how we did. I think he's taking us to the Delta section. There's a big Delta section here. American Airlines is really popular here. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. He wasn't going to give me a gate. Who have I ticked off? We're taking a gate. It's a nice view from the side of, back side of the airport there in the tower. Right. Brakes on. GPU. And we're on GPU now. By the way, just so you see the inside of the hub here, let's see if I can get in here. Isn't that nice? Welcome to Charlotte. Check it out. All right, let's do a replay.